Good morning, journeyers.
Just trying to take a picture.
Ruining my picture. We have to welcome.
Hello.
It's day 3
Technically it's afternoon.
on our New Orleans adventure, and we decided we really wanted to see a plantation, and so we actually left the city kind of earlier. We're gonna do a few things.
We were gonna have breakfast, but we woke up too late.
Yeah, we woke up too late, so
to have breakfast in the
we
city.
decided to just head straight to the plantation. We are at Oak Valley Plantation. It's about 40 miles.
It's close to Donaldsonville.
Donaldsonville, yes.
Maybe 10 minutes from Donaldsonville.
It's about 42 miles from downtown New Orleans. It was a really easy drive, but this is definitely something you need to experience when you come. And this is probably one of the most popular plantations in Louisiana.
It's beautiful.
They've had, what did they say, 7 million visitors?
6 million
visitors since 1970s.
Oh, not a year. Never mind.
But so we're here seeing the grounds. We're checking out kind of the history of this plantation, and so the big building, and we'll show you. They do like tours, but we're actually right now we're standing where the slave quarters are, so you can see the slave buildings in there.
Slave homes.
Yeah, sorry, slave homes. There's 6 of them on here.
There was more than 6.
There was more though, yeah. At one time, I think they said they had over 100 slaves on this property, this plantation, and it's been blacksmith, cotton,
Gosh, the trees.
sugar cane. They pretty much did everything here. So we're gonna explore this area, and we're pretty excited. So let's show you what Oak Valley Plantation has to offer.
So these are the slave homes, and it's reading that 2 to 5 people would live on a half of the house. So they're considered doubles. So on one half, you'd have 2 to 5 people. So technically 10 people, up to 10 people in this tiny little house. The sign said that this plantation alone had 106 slaves.
For you when you come to Oak Valley. Admission is $25. They do military discount, AAA discount, teaching discount, student ID discount.
Bring your ID though.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me do mine because I didn't have my student ID card with me. But what else? The bathroom's on site. Just so you know, since it is about 45 minutes outside the city, some people have tried to Uber and stuff out here, which is fine getting here, but we're pretty much in the middle of nowhere, so there's really not Uber and taxis and those types of services. So if you're really wanting to do the trip, probably best bet is to have a rental car, or if you're staying with family or friends, just borrow their car and drive out of the way. The main feature of the plantation is the tour, the house tour, which operates every 10 minutes, and they have round staff that just kind of waits for you in line depending on how many people go, and then they just take you around the tour of the plantation, and that tour lasts about 30 minutes. So that's probably the highlight of it, but they have maps and stuff that show you all the different features of the place.
And the trees are beautiful.
Yes, it is Instagram worthy for sure, but I mean the real cool part is coming and seeing the history and honoring the slaves that built this plantation pretty much with their hands, with the work that they did, and honoring them and seeing what they went through. And they've had 7 million, right?
6 million.
I keep saying 7, I don't know why. They've had 6 million visitors in the last 40 years. So it's pretty cool that people can come and see the history and be able to see, the wrong and how the slaves were treated, but honoring them now. So kind of the final straw of making this plantation slave free was right after the Civil War. The husband who owned the plantation with his wife, he passed away, and then she continued running it, but things kind of went south pretty fast. She was kind of controlling. She wanted to continue the plantation. She had an overseer, but she still wanted to control all aspects instead of asking for family for help. And so it kind of made, once Civil War ended, it's kind of the end, the demise of the plantation. And so what happened was a lot of the slaves that were here turned into sharecrop holders, which was pretty common after the Civil War, of slaves that were on plantations. So in essence, they would still do the fields and stuff like that, and they would own little parts on the land, but it still was 100% freedom. So I'm not gonna speak into 100% of the history like I know everything, but that's what happened here. Was it turned into a sharecrop holder for the slaves that were here. Alrighty, we just finished the tour. What'd you think?
It was good.
Yeah, they don't allow cameras inside the house, so I was very good, and we were in a large party. Could have snuck in some photos and videos, but I didn't. I was good.
Just do illegal things.
I just was trying to give you guys what it looks like, but I was good. Really, really cool inside. They take you on a tour, so you have a guide that kind of shares the history of the house, and it was owned by Jacques and was it Celine?
Celine. Yeah.
Celine, and what was her last name?
I don't remember.
I don't even know. I apologize. But they were the owners of the plantation, and they built in 1837, finished in 1839, and then they lost it pretty much after the Civil War. That's when it stopped becoming a plantation. And then a new family came in and bought it, the Stewarts,
1920s.
in the 1920s, and her husband passed away in 1947, like right
She
after.
lived in it till 1972, and before she died,
Why don't you
donated
just give us the tour?
it to the foundation that owns it now.
Yeah,
The
so
nonprofit
it's run
foundation.
by a nonprofit. So it's a National Historic Landmark,
It's pretty cool.
which is really, really cool. But they just kind of shared the history of the slaves, and kind of what the house was for, and the dining room. They were a power family, so they were
Had a lot of money.
very well known around in the area. The people that they came and had dined, they knew governors. One of their best friends was a banker who literally gave loans to plantations. That's how plantations got their money to fund their plantations. And apparently he spared no expense. $600,000 loan back in the 1800s to build this plantation. And you think about, they were showing us how much like 2 dozen apples cost was 80 cents. So 80 cents for 2 dozen apples, and he got $600,000 to build this plantation. So I can't even, that's gotta be like millions and millions of dollars now.
Oh, maybe billions.
Yeah. So definitely extravagant. So now we're gonna check out a few of the exhibits around the area. First one is the sugarcane exhibit, which I was wrong. I thought it was cotton. It was not a cotton plantation. This was primarily sugarcane, which was harder, but higher reward if you could do it. Oak Valley Plantation, make sure you guys come. We had a blast exploring the different areas and taking the house tour. It's just really cool to see the history of how it started and where it is now, and how they're honoring the lives of the slaves that kind of built this plantation, and showing that history of what they went through. So we had a lot of fun. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and give us a big like. Make sure you hit that notification bell on the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any awesome videos we have coming. And if you'd like, check out our website for some sweet merch, because we have new merch. Check it out. And comment below if you've ever been to a plantation before. We'll see you on the next video, journeyers. Toots!